Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. Let me just do a really quick sound check because I am not hearing myself that well. Uh, Let me know where you are, what the weather's like. I'm coming in from Manhattan, a couple blocks above Central Park. So I'm in Harlem. I can see the tops of the trees of the park. They're nice and green now. Although I'm tired of this rain. Like, doesn't the sun know, like, after Memorial Day, we're ready to get into summer? No, hasn't gotten that memo yet. You read the title. Did he do it? I wasn't going to cover this, but there was an interesting character. So I'm going to start with him and then I'll do a little bit of the backstory. If you've already been following it, you kind of know what it is. But we haven't covered it here on Tanika's Two Cents. So I want to jump in here because this was juicy to me. And then I will go back and go over the charges of what Diddy has and all the other fun stuff because you know I like the receipts. And he's got quite a lot of documents, not just for this case, but other cases with similar charges. Obviously, not on the federal RICO level, but I mean, bad behavior. He's a bad boy for real and not in a good way. Not in like a Will Smith, what's his name, Martin Lawrence way. But we will get into that on the other side. Let me thank the members. Let me thank everybody who buys me a coffee. I appreciate you all. Don't feel like you have to do either of those things. Just watching and giving a thumbs up goes a long way. I appreciate you being here either way, and I will talk to you on the other side. All right, it's early in the morning, so all my littles are awake. If that's going to bother you, dogs, a 1-year-old might not be the video for you. Check us out another time. I'll let you know when I'm all by myself. I am sipping on some coffee, some decaf, because I'm expecting. I'm also drinking some collagen water this morning. It is liquid collagen. Let's see if I can get it in the shot in the green renewal. I love this. It's part of my sort of biohacking routine. I'll put a link in the description. I get it from Amazon. It tastes yummy, and I don't have to put it in my coffee or anything else. It comes in these little vials. I take some to work. What are you sipping on? It may not be morning where you are. You may be sipping on something else. All right, let's get into this. We're going to cover. I don't know this person. His name is Kid Cudi, actor, presenter, performer. He's a personality. I'm going to cover his transcripts courtesy of this person on X, formerly known as Twitter, at DBD Music, spelled Muzik. This Kid Cudi was one of many colorful characters. I'm going to cover Cudi. I'm going to cover Capricorn Clark. And then there was a stylist today, or rather yesterday, May 28th, that I also want to cover. And then in between, I will fill in the blanks of all the details. But if you're here, you're already more than likely watching some of the trial, or maybe not. So we'll just get into it all. I will show you a PowerPoint while we go through. I think I will. We're going to share this one while we go through these transcripts because, like I said, he's a character. And who else needs my 2 cents other than the characters of the world, right? So, next witness, AUSA. We call Scott Muscuddy. Kid Cudi takes a witness stand in a leather jacket, white shirt, and blue jeans. Not like this wedding dress that I have him in here. I didn't put him in that, but I found it on the internet. AUSA Johnson, what did you do for work? Miss Cudi, I'm an actor and musician known as Kid Cudi. Uh-oh. Please hold. Musician known as Kid Cudi. AUSA, who is this? And he shows a photo. Miss Cudi says Cassie. Cassie is the former girlfriend of Diddy. If you haven't heard that testimony, it's all over the internet. It's brutal. Protect your mental if you're not up for abuse, misogyny, and all of that. Okay, Kid Cudi. We dated in 2011. AUSA. Who else was she involved with? Sean Combs, AUSA. What did you know about their status, Miss Cudi? That she and Sean Combs had some problems and they weren't dating anymore. AUSA. What was her demeanor, Miss Scuddy? Very stressed and worried. AUSA. Where did you go, Miss Scuddy? The Sunset Marquee. AUSA. Why? Miss Scuddy. I thought it was safe. Off the radar. AUSA. Who else did you speak with? Miss Scuddy. Capricorn Clark. She sounded near tears. AUSA. What did she say? Miss Cudi. That Sean Combs is in the car near my house. Combs. Brian Steele, which is on Sean Combs's team, the defense team. Objection. Judge. Overruled. AUSA. What did you say? Miss Cudi. That I didn't want to talk with him. He broke into my house, hurt my dog. AUSA, did you and Miss Ventura break up? Miss Scuddy, yes. What about your car? My dog's babysitter called me and told me my car was on fire. AUSA, where were you? Miss Scuddy, at a relative of my ex-girlfriend. You know you hiding out when you at the ex-girlfriend's relative house. This is a photo of Kid Cudi the day of his testimony with this leather jacket smoking there. Where did you go? To my house, 8925 Hollywood Hills Road, AUSA. Let me show you 6 pictures. Do you recognize? Muscuddy says, my Porsche. Muscuddy says, that's the damage to my Porsche from the Molotov cocktail. AUSA, who took these photos? Muscuddy, Chip, a good friend and collaborator. AUSA, what's depicted here? Muscati, the hole they cut in the roof of my car to put in the Molotov cocktail. So he has a soft top convertible Porsche, and there were photos of where it was clearly cut. Whoever did the Molotov cocktail was not that great at it because the car didn't really burst into flames. It kind of extinguished. And there's an officer I believe he's on the fire department, Jimenez, and hopefully I can get his testimony. I've reached out. So if you guys know anybody who has transcripts, let me know. I'm obviously willing to purchase them. I guess I could research and see if I could get them from the source, but y'all know I'm busy. I will try. But I did reach out to 2 people to see if I could get it because even this is redacted. So just as context, because it'll come up later in testimony, but Capricorn Clark was trying to warn them being Cudi and I guess Cassie, but for sure Cudi, that Diddy was on his way, and he came and basically picked up Capricorn Clark and was like, you get dressed, we're going to kill Cudi, because he found out that Cudi had been dating Cassie, who allegedly he was no longer with, or they were on a break. It's giving very Friends vibe. But Diddy alleges that Cassie was cheating on him, which I find rich because he had like 6 girlfriends. So who's zooming who, as my daddy used to say? Can you really be cheated on when you're not faithful yourself? You know what I mean? I don't know. So yeah, here's some more photos of him. This one, I don't know why. My son loves Elmo, so this was intriguing. But doesn't the X in the eye mean they're no longer with us? Did Big Bird die? And did Combs have something to do with it? Okay, so the hole they cut in the roof of my car to put in the Molotov cocktail, there was apparently an objection overruled. You called. Hopefully, I did not get these out of order when I copied it and pasted from X, but it may have been. You'll get the gist of it, though. You called Sean. I did. He said, I'm over here waiting for you. That doesn't sound threatening. I'm over here waiting for you. You at my spot waiting on me? Say what? Did I invite you? Why are you there? When you arrived, what did the outside look like? Muscati, pretty normal. AUSA, any security cameras? Yes. But I found out they weren't working. Dun dun dun. Why weren't they working? We never get that answered. Like, did Diddy cut them off? Was he involved? We do not know. But the security cameras had been moved. Did you move them? No. What did you see inside your home? Gifts were open. Some stuff I got from Chanel, and my dog was locked up in the bathroom. Y'all know I'm a dog lover. That is a no-no. Do not touch my dogs. AUSA, how did you usually leave your dog? I let him roam. How long had you had your dog? 3 years. What changes in behavior of your dog after the break-in? Muscati, jittery, on edge all the time. Muscati, I got a call. I got back in and called Sean Combs again. I was looking for him. I wanted to fight him, you know? Did he answer? Muscati, yeah. He said, I'm on my way. I thought to myself, Steele. Objection, Judge Grounds. Steele, non responsive. Overruled. Which I don't know. I mean, he already said yes and he went to what he thought, but I guess maybe that's presence of mind. Anyway, Judge, ask a new question. AUSA, when you saw Cassie, how did she seem? Muscati, depressed. Did you see Cassie in Connecticut? Did he? Uh-oh. There we go. Yes, she needed it. AUSA, did Mr. Combs call you? Muscati, yes, he hit me a few times. AUSA, hit? Muscati called me. AUSA, what did you say? That I didn't want to talk with him. Oh, yeah, I think I looped these. Okay. Porsche. Here we go. AUSA, what was your reaction to your car being set on fire? Muscati, what the fuck? Objection. Overruled. And here again is DMD MUZIK. Please give him a follow over on X. I followed him today. Judge, break. Judge, will you finish the witnesses of today? AUSA, yes. Though the cross of Mr. Kaplan was 3 times longer than we thought. Jury entering. AUSA, was the damage on your car present before the call from the dog sitter? No. Did you think it was accidental or intentional? Intentional. Where did you last see Ms. Ventura? Muscati says, at the Soho house. I reached out to Sean Combs and said, let's talk. This is getting out of hand. Combs' defense steps in. Can we have a sidebar? Judge, do you have an objection? Steele, yes. Judge, sustained, disregard, and move on. AUSA, who set up the meeting at Soho House? Muscati, D-Rock, and my manager. AUSA, what was Mr. Combs doing? Muscati, standing there like a Marvel supervillain. And then some laughter. I think it also there was standing at the window with his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain. Muscati, he said, we were homies, you know, that is my girl. AUSA, what did you say? I thought you had broken up. Then Sean Combs offered me water twice. Well, that's suspicious. Don't drink the water. You did right, Cudi. Sounds like you didn't drink it. Muscati, it was weird. Sean Combs being so calm. Like the calm before the storm, baby. AUSA, what did Cassie say? Muscati, that we have fallen in love. Things happen. What did you say to Mr. Combs? What about my car? He said, I don't know what you are talking about. I walked away. So in this part of the testimony, he talks about shaking his hand and waiting until their hands were connected and making eye contact when he asked what about the car. And then Sean saying, I don't know what you're talking about. AUSA, did you see Combs later, Muscati, a few years later, also at Soho house. He said, I'm just sorry for all that bullshit. I was surprised, so I found peace with it. AUSA, no further questions at this time. Judge, Mr. Steele. Mr. Steele comes up. I want to ask you some questions about your Porsche. In 2022, Muscati cuts in 2012. Steele, I apologize. You get a call about damage to your vehicle. Any surveillance photos? Muscati, no. My dog's babysitter did send me pictures of the damage. Steele, the DNA taken. Are you aware it came back being a female? AUSA, objection. No foundation. Judge, sustained. Steele, do you know there were DNA results? Judge, I'll allow that. Muscati, no. Combs, or Steele on behalf of Combs. Miss Ventura told you it was over. Muscati, we just stopped talking. Steele, you told this honorable court and this jury that she played you. Muscati, yes. She played you and you had no clue? No clue. Steele, in 2011, you went on a tour. Muscati, yes. 65 locations? Yeah. Steele, at that time, Sean Combs as an icon. Fair to say? Muscati, yes. Steele, you and Ms. Ventura had a sexual relationship? Objection. Sidebar. After sidebar, Muscati, Mr. Steele, can I judge? No, you can do that on redirect. Steele, do you want to tell me something? Muscati, Sean Combs asked about me doing a song with Miss Ventura in 2010. Steele, thank you. Steele, but she never said she was sexually abused. True? Muscati, she did not. Steele, you loved her? Tell me if I'm wrong. Muscati, I did. Steele, you got played by the same person who played Mr. Combs, Cassie Ventura. Steele, in the 13 years since, have you ever been notified in California that there has been any more action on this car fire? Muscati, no. Steele, did Miss Ventura have multiple phones? Muscati, I don't remember. Steele, 3512. Muscati, if I said it, I said it. So I guess they were going to pull up transcripts. But Capricorn Clark did testify to getting Cassie a burner phone when she found out that Cassie was calling Kid Cudi from the phone that Sean Diddy paid for, right? So she was like, girl, you trying to get us all killed. Combs, Steele, do you know what a burner phone is? Muscati, untraceable. Steele, the trespass, you call it a break-in. Miss Ventura told you she'd given your home address to Mr. Combs? What? I didn't remember that. Why would she do that? Muscati, yes, in the morning. Steele, no more questions. Thanks. Muscati, no problem. Combs, Steele. That sounds so weird, but it's Mr. Steele who is for the defense. You believe they left your front door unlocked? Muscati, yes. Steele, no forced entry? Muscati, no. Steele, just presence opened door in the bathroom. I'm not belittling, just asking. You called Sean Combs. When you say just presents open, dude, that is belittling. Like, so it was alleged that he walked in, it was around Christmas time. He had Christmas presents. None of the presents were stolen, but they were all unwrapped and sitting out. Like, who does that? That's creepy. And there was some pricey things in there. Like, I think I said he had something from Chanel and something else. Like, it's just that sort of like omnipotent, I'm everywhere, I can do anything type of vibe. I know all. Steele, you went to see him, you didn't think he had a gun. Muscati, I couldn't call it. Steele, you are a strong person. That's how you categorize yourself. Muscati, yeah, this crossed the line. Steele, Miss Ventura told you she was abused. Muscati, yes. Judge, redirect, AUSA Johnson. What did Miss Ventura confide in you about abuse? Muscati, that he would hit her, sometimes kick her. AUSA, the day of the break-in, was she carefree? Muscati, no. AUSA, what did Capricorn Clark tell you? Muscati, Sean Combs and an affiliate forced her into a car to come to my house. I called the police. AUSA, how would you describe Cassie that day? Muscati, just really shook. Him finding out about us. AUSA. Why did your relationship with Miss Ventura end? Muscuddy, the drama. It was getting out of hand. I wanted to give space. AUSA, what drama? The break in. For my safety, her safety. Objection. Grounds. Speculation. Overruled. Yeah, he's not speculating about his safety or her safety. Clearly, he wasn't safe. The man went into his house, put his dog in the bathroom, and sat there and opened up Christmas presents. Like, what? That doesn't sound safe. AUSA, what did you have? Why did you have safety concerns? Muscuddy, because I knew Sean Combs was violent. Your Honor, may we approach? Sidebar. AUSA, the meeting at the Soho House, Mr. Combs says, so they're moving on. So I guess that was sustained, right? Like they're not going to get into how he knew Sean was violent. There's no foundation of that on the record outside of what Cassie has said, which I guess wouldn't that be hearsay? She's not a party. I don't know. Okay, not an attorney. AUSA, the meeting at the Soho House, Mr. Combs said, I don't know what you're talking about your car. Did you believe him? Objection, rephrase. What was your understanding? That he was lying. AUSA, no further questions. Judge, any recross? No, Your Honor. Mr. Muscuddy, you're done. Well, all right. And that was it. So that is our first character that we're going to get into. I don't know what his background is, but certainly that was some, honest and colorful testimony. He was very frank. It did not feel like he had anything to hide. So yeah, I liked that. There's a lot going on. He's charged. Sean Combs is charged with racketeering, so they've got to prove fraud, coercion, and there's one more thing, but we'll get into it. I want to get into the charges next. Like I said, if you guys know anybody who has the transcripts, let me know. Email me, Tanika McKelvey.tv. Let's see if I have it already in one of my banners at gmail.com. Let me put it on the screen. I do. There we go. Hit me up here if you know. I'm happy to pay for them. Happy to go in. I heard there's a pool. I don't know who the pool is. I reached out to two people. One is a fellow true crime coverage person, and another is an attorney that I've heard reading the transcripts. I don't want them all, those specific people, because I definitely can't get through Cassie's testimony. It just was like worse than I even could imagine. So just a little bit, like if you're new here, my background, I'm originally from California. I live in New York. I grew up listening to Tupac. I'm 54. And so I've always thought Diddy had something to do with Tupac's death, that he was directly involved. I always have just, not a fan also of Biggie's, which now I'm hearing more about that. Like Biggie was on crutches. He could barely walk. They flew him out to LA. I was out and about in the streets that night that Biggie got shot. The streets of LA. But like he could barely walk, and he allegedly was coming out because to record in a studio, but he came from New York where Puffy had a studio, so none of that makes sense. So I just think he's a bad dude, And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to cover this, but there's been some interesting, like I said, some interesting characters that I want to cover. So we'll see. Depends on if you guys are into it or not, what the views are like on this. Obviously, if you're not that into it, I'll know by the views and the likes, and we'll move on to something else. I just needed a little breakup from Sarah Boone. Don't we all? There's some other stuff I want to cover. So stay tuned. I appreciate you checking out this video. And, don't forget to leave me a little comment because I want to know what you guys think. And I love talking to you guys in the comments. There's so much I want to talk about. I've been in some chats and I'm like, some people are like, oh, he's going to walk. He's so innocent. And I'm like, what? But we'll go over what the elements of RICO are and why I think he's on his way to life long vacation in federal prison. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about it. So let's chop it up in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Toodles.